Yeah.
First time playing that song together.
Wow.
Take one.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I'm all about the take one.
You guys killed it.
Oh no, I have I forgot to put my thing on silent.
So,
For those of you who didn't know, that song is called Riders on the Storm by The Doors. I heard Tavana play that at a gig, and I was backstage before he brought me up, and I was just jamming with him, and I was like, oh, I heard him, and I heard the audience. They just fell in love with the song, and he's like, oh, it's the first time I'm playing this tonight, and it was a hit.
What was really cool was she had a camera dude kind of following her around that night, and then later I saw like the footage of her in the backstage at Blue Note while I'm playing the song, and she's back there like and like jamming to it. Yeah. Obviously I didn't know that happened, and then so I was like able to see that later, like, oh, that's awesome. Like she's back there like all
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I think I saw that.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then you're like, hey, we should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Here we
for
are
us.
now.
That was definitely take one of one.
Like professional.
Yeah.
Organized.
Had to bust out the phone and listen again, make sure you had the right chords and all that.
Yeah,
This is fresh.
We had
Super
to
fresh.
listen to the song, make sure we had the scales right.
Pretty cool.
Sorry, I'm gonna just tune while we talk.
You guys are quite the dynamic duo.
It works. I feel like just you playing grounds me in a certain way. Like I'll hear him just musically go into that realm and like, okay, we're gonna do this. And it grounds me in a certain way.
I mean, it was kind of immediate, like the first time we had jammed, it was like, whoa, like that is, like certain people you play with, it's like of your musical tribe in a sense. And you're like, oh, yeah, it's like easy. This is what both of us do. It was like automatic, like, yeah, like musical siblings. Mm-hmm. Kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You guys both have
I'm sure
such
you felt
energy.
that,
Oh, yeah.
With people you come across, it's like, sometimes it's like it's hard to get to go with certain people, whatever, and then sometimes it's just the opposite, and that's how it is with Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Automatic.
Yeah, automatic.
But I know what you mean, Taimane, because there's something about like Tavana has like almost a hypnotic rhythm sense to him that you can just kind of jump on board and roll with.
Plus, I think we both have a very a love of classic rock.
Yeah.
So we have that rock vibe. We love the minors. He's got, the masculine features, and I've got the feminine features musically wise. And so I think it really, I'm like the high ukulele, and he's got like the low rumbling voice and the low rumbling guitar. But then he can also rip it as well. When I'm like, I'm done, he's like, okay.
There's
Well,
definitely a balance there of the like feminine and the masculine, I think, for sure. That's true.
Where do you guys see that going as far as doing more gigs together, recording?
I mean, to be honest with you, it's nothing that we had ever planned out, but it definitely seems to be kind of naturally happening more and more, where we're kind of getting hired on the same stages and playing together. Like, and this is another example of that. Mm-hmm. This wasn't ever planned out, and we ended up talking. You were like, "Oh, what about that?" And I'm like, "Really? That's crazy," because it just keeps happening, So I don't know.
Yeah.
We did our first tour like last month. We went to San Francisco for a gig.
You too?
Yeah.
It was one show.
Oh, wow.
It was like a
Chinatown, San Francisco.
San Francisco.
So cool.
It was cool.
It was.
Yeah.
So it was a nice little dip of toe of like what touring would be like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really easy. I think what's cool is that we've both sort of had a long journey already, like just on our own, and so there's a level of professionalism that's already existing between the two of us. So I don't know. It seems pretty drama free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're in your early 20s in a band or something,
exactly.
there's always like, and nobody really knows what's going on when you're out doing it. But yeah, you've been around.
I mean, even me, dude, I think back on those times and I think about the stuff that I used to stress about and make a big deal about. And I'm like, oh boy. Like what used to be like, oh my gosh, what if this happens?
Yeah.
And you go through so many Murphy's Law situations that just goes all to shit that you realize that, like, no matter how prepared you are or whatever, I think that's one of the biggest things that people get after touring for so long is understanding that you're just showing up and you're going to do your best, and that's enough. And you don't have to like be worried about it or like stressing like I used to.
How much
I used to do that really a lot.
That is towards the sound that you're going to be dealing with when you get there.
99.9%. 99%.
It's like, please just have the right sound system and sound man.
And then also if it's going to be on time.
Yeah.
Is it going to start on time or later? I don't know.
Man.
What do you think, Tavana?
Yeah,
what do you...
The sound is huge, obviously, and you have to also, that's another thing, right? You learn to like deal with terrible sound and just kind of get through the gig. It's difficult, but you do it. Focus, But there's also so many things that can go down. I mean, sometimes just the people that are putting it together are really green, or they're just really rude, or, just got to deal with a lot of stuff sometimes.
For me, it's like the stuff around the gig that's stressful. So like I've always said, airports for musicians, like so stressful.
Yeah,
I stress about that. Like when I'm on stage playing, that's like the funnest part. But, sound check, oh no, like they don't have subs or the sound isn't right. We don't really know what time you're going to go on, But when you're on stage, that's when the fun happens. But for me, it's the airports.
Yeah. In the airports and the airlines, musicians are like the outcasts. Like we're like the ones, disrupting the whole situation. Oh, here's this guy with his 2 instruments and wants to fit in next to all these regular sized baggage things.
Yeah. Zone Z.
Sorry, guys.
We're in the last zone.
It's like, if it wasn't for us, all the things would fit in this nice.
Yeah.
Overhead. Then there's like the one overhead with my stuff in it. It's like, oh, I guess you're just going to take this whole overhead.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm definitely like, my thing is delicate. Like, please, like, don't smash your... It's fine. Like, it's okay. No, please. And so then I become like a diva. Just like, it's my livelihood right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely the sound, too, But you got to take that as it comes. It's always never. It's never consistent. You're gonna get different sound everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. And you gotta just kind of get used to that.
Different audience everywhere you go. You just adapt.
The goal, though, would be that this video goes viral, and then I get a dude to travel with me to make sure my thumb.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No, nobody I know has that yet. It's like even guys who are like pretty high level.
Yeah.
It takes like a really high level to get that going on. Where you have like really to have like a roadie, you're pretty much getting like a traveling roadie.
Oh yeah,
it's like a team situation.
Sound man / he's got all your information. That is, I'm going to NAMM tomorrow.
I believe in you. So. This video is going to be the thing.
Oh please,
it's you. You're going to be the savior of my life.
It should. I mean, there's a lot more. I don't know, lame things that go viral, but hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's okay, guys.
I don't know if we're controversial enough for the algorithm.
Don't feel stressed out. Don't share this video or anything. It's fine. I'm just glad you're here.
Share it. Share it.
Like, oh, no,
now.
Seriously, do it.
Subscribe.
Thank you, guys. So what's it like being a professional musician? Just waking up at noon and kind of
if we could
playing
get
a few
rid
licks.
of like the sound check, I feel like that would be. That's another thing that we were talking about.
Why is that? I would think you would want that.
Well, I mean, obviously, if the sound was perfect, then I wouldn't want to go or need to go to sound check. You just show up and you're like in your whole thing. I don't know.
It's basically like the thing, right? If you had the guys,
if you have like a full band and stuff, I guess it makes more sense.
You're
but
going to sound check, but like I think she means more probably the load in and the schlepping and
the schlepping. I think that's what it is. The schlepping.
Yeah.
Just if you know that the sound is going to be, which is not realistic, but consistent every time, and you just walk into the gig and the people are there and you're just ready to go and you can just play and it's perfect.
Is there a spot like that here?
Well, for here, I'm able to do that. I have a dude started to do that where he set my stuff up and I just walk in and I just kind of play. But he can't come with me anywhere. It's not like I can.
Oh, really? You have that here?
Yeah, I started paying for that.
Oh,
it's huge,
bro.
for me, because I get to because I have a babysitter at home too, so I save money on either end, right?
Right.
I can leave like the last minute, and I
Right.
can come back a lot faster because I'm not breaking anything down. So it makes sense for me to hire that, Plus, the dude likes to do it, and he's working, and I'm working. Everybody's working. It's part of the team. So it is huge because I get to not be in this kind of like setting up space, sound check, stressful, sweating, and then, okay, hi, everybody, you know what I mean? And then on the other side of the set, I don't have to be all like, yeah, awesome. Okay, I'm wrapping cables now. Hi, everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that it takes away that mystery for the people as well that are, even if it's a smaller Honolulu venue, for me, I like that experience for them, that I come in, I can kill it, and then I just walk off and hang out with them.
Yeah.
And I have a dude who's doing that part of the job, and he's better at taking care of my gear anyway.
Yeah.
I am terrible with taking
Losing
care of my
chords
gear.
and
It's just like bird nests. Just hurry up and put everything in his cases, bumping the guitars everywhere.
Right.
He's all like,
yeah. Especially when you're in that performance mind, space, then going back to like
Wade
technician.
Nakaya, big shout out to Wade Nakaya. That's my
Wade.
guy. Brother Wade. He used to do it for like Willie K and everybody.
I've had him
nice.
too, a couple
He's
times.
been on the scene for a long time, and he's a super awesome guy. Super easy to get along with.
I saw you at Hawaiian Brian's like couple, I don't know, it was like right when we opened back up from COVID. People
At
were
the
just getting
Crossroads.
back out. And,
Oh yeah, I remember. You were sitting right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Man, it was impactful. I love the sound on that space. It
those
was,
guys, man, they got their stuff
Yeah.
dialed in, man. They don't spare any expense. They're getting gear that they like, not based on saving money or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're like, we want our stuff to sound really good. They're also artists and stuff.
Totally.
So they're
Yeah.
super awesome.
Yeah, that the way that there's such a spacious, huge sound. It works really good with your set.
I mean, and I feel like more people need to go to like the Slacky Lounge shows. It's almost like not a lot of people really even know about that spot yet. But the truth is that playing there in that room, the intimacy of it for like 100 to 150 person gig, a listening gig or like a showroom gig, that's a really legitimate spot to go see somebody play. Their gear is amazing. Their sound guys are great. And
Is that where you do
when
like
I
a
play there-
storyteller kind of?
yeah, I mean, I've started to bring my whole rig and just play. I tell some stories too still, but because it's just natural. It's a natural good room for that, like engaging with the audience, talking, telling some stories.
It's got that intimacy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like there's Blue Note, and then there's also that place though. Like, place is legit. I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah.
more people need to start going out there and supporting the artists that play that place, because I don't want that room to ever disappear. Like, it's great.
100%. Where's your favorite place to play here at Taimane?
Well, just like hearing what Tavana was talking about, I think every artist has a spot where they experiment with an audience and kind of like polish their new work. And it sounds for you, the Slack Key Lounge. For me, it was On King Art Center in Chinatown, where I kind of honed my craft and was able to bounce new songs. And I think that's really important for artists to like get in front of an audience that they feel comfortable with and try new things.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's no longer there. But for me, that was like a really crucial point in my artistic path, of
You
trying to
kind of get
find
some
myself.
feedback of what works and
Yeah.
what moves people.
Yeah, and then before that, it was playing on the streets of Waikiki, which is a completely different crowd. That's like tourists,
That
coming
sounds like
and
the
going.
worst.
It wasn't. No, it was a special time in my life. I kind of really connected with the Beach Boys. It was hard. I will say that. It's hard.
It's that scene where you're on the sidewalk and you get this huge gathering of people that gather
Yeah,
around
that's really
to watch,
cool,
which is
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you don't.
Or you don't.
So they're not gonna, sugarcoat anything, which I think is also really important in your art to have that too.
Yeah, they didn't come to see music,
Right.
Yes, and so for certain gigs, like that type of background is definitely needed. To have that, get them, but then like also have this artistic On King Art Center. What are you about too?
I remember that place. It was a really cool, like, collection of people, usually very artistic. So her audience would be like artists, painters, poets, you know what I mean? So kind of a really, it's an amazing crowd to play for, right?
You've been a inspiration for a lot of people, I think. Partially just the freedom that you exude when you play, and it looks exciting and fun,
It is. It is hard work, and I'm just going to keep saying that. Like, you need to have that base and foundation of knowing what you're playing first. You can't just be free and just lollygag. You know what I mean? Like, you got to, like, have that base, and then you can be free because of it. You know what I mean? Like, with me and Tavana, we both can play in D minor or play a certain chord because we figured out those scales. And so now, after that base, we can just be free with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're moving around and, doing your thing and you're screwing up, then it's kind of like, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
but you have to be able to hold it down.
It's human. I think people like seeing, I screw up all the time. I really do. And
Sure.
You just make it a part of the show. But you also can't screw up too much. You gotta,
Yeah. It's like the whole, that's what's cool about being or deciding to be like a lifelong musician, is you realize that it never ends and you're just going to be, I think the better you get, the less you realize and the more you're also okay with the things that you're not good at. They don't mess with you as much anymore, and you're willing to be a little more adventurous and take more risks, and then mess up and then go, oh, I see where I messed up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your ego isn't so fragile. It's
exactly.
like you're not like holding yourself for it. You know who you are, and it's like you're not going to get shattered by.
Because you could easily get pigeonholed into like just the stuff that if you only do that and you don't take any risks, and you're like, you know what, like I don't want to mess up so badly that I'm not going to ever explore in music. And I think that even people, you don't have to be like a jazz musician to be like exploring. You can be very a C, G, D player, but still explore some other notes within the stuff you're playing, and then go, oh, that sounded sour, but be fine with it, so that you can find some stuff that doesn't sound sour, that sounds pretty or like nicely dissonant or whatever, right? So yeah, I think you can really get caught. Musicians oftentimes get caught in that trap, I think, where they learn what they have this spurt of time where they learn a lot and they're really diligent, and they get to like a certain level, and then they just stay there because they don't want to mess up in front of anybody, Yeah.
Or you have like the musicians who are perfect, but they don't think they're perfect enough, so they never play in front of people.
Yeah, there's some really good players that won't play in front of anyone. I have lots of buddies like that. It's like debilitating for them to even think about playing. And if they do go to like an open mic or something,
performance anxiety is like
it starts to build up as close
real
to
thing.
Their name gets close to the top of the list, and they're just like, oh my god, I'm about to go on, and that's, I've dealt with that. And I can tell anyone that's dealing with that right now that it goes away. And you just have to just jump off the flipping cliff.
Do it.
And jump off again, and you'll realize you're not going to be splatting on the ground dead. You're going to be like, it's going to be okay. Especially if you're in a situation where it's like an open mic and everybody's like really supportive. Nobody's going to be a jerk and be like, and still they'll allow you to grow. And that's the only one way you're going to be able to.
You're going to be in your head all night. I effed up so bad. Oh God.
Yeah. That's going to happen.
Yeah. Builds characters.
Yeah. And it's like I said, I think that's what I mean, right? It's like the better you get, the more willing you are to mess up,
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. And you're really always only a half a step away from the right note. Anyway, just repeat it again and then bend it over to the other.
Just travel to it.
You're all.
Just travel. Just dance around, and then
People feed off of your vibes too, so it's like how you react to that is, if you can laugh something off, then
Totally.
It's like doesn't ruin a show at all.
Man, one of the biggest things I realized is to bringing that element into your show is big. The kind of like me and the audience are in cahoots with the fact that we're going to go on a journey right now, that I'm not like, I just wrote this, I don't know how it's going to go, let's do this together and good luck to us kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love that feeling when I'm with an audience,
Yeah.
and I oftentimes bring that energy in because it gives you that feeling like you're somewhere special and it's only happening now and it's only going to happen now because this artist is going to get better at this song, right? He's going to try this now. It's like early in this. So I oftentimes
They're
bring
almost
songs
like
in
rooting
that are
for
like,
you. Like
yeah, like I like to bring songs in that I literally just wrote yesterday and I never played in front of anybody, and I'm definitely not good at it yet. I'm going to play it live and mess it up in front of people because people like it. And really, nobody cares if you mess it up. They just like being there with you, experiencing that, and it ties back into what we were talking about. You think messing up is this big deal, but no, it's not. And if you can smile with everybody, like, yeah, did you hear that wheel?
Well, people like to experience the process too, like
Exactly.
rather than just the encapsuled, perfection at the end of it.
I mean, that stuff's huge. You got to have that stuff. You
Yeah.
know? You got to have your, like, really, like, the stuff that you just nail, But anyway, I think it's important to have that
Totally.
part in your
I think
show.
it depends like on the audience, number one, but I think people want to see you be human too, because
Exactly.
sometimes they feel insecure with the level of playing that you are at, and it just makes them feel bad about themselves. And so like if you show them like, look, I'm human and I'm gonna mess this up, it kind of makes them feel more connected to you, that you're still practicing, I'm still practicing. It never stops.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely spent a lot of time going to shows like of really crazy players when I was like 13 or 14 years old, and walking out going like, oh my God, I'm never going to be that good, and feeling kind of like inadequate, So I think that's a good point. So
Yeah,
can-
that like I'm still struggling on things, and we can connect through that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're human, we're not robots. It's all good.
Yeah, and like you said, the process. They want to be a part of the story and the experience. They're a part of the experience too. I want to hear you say "chihu." Like that gives me some sort of energy. Like if I hear that, so it's like a special experience.
It is. It's a symbiotic thing going on with a show.
Totally.
Yeah.
What?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, maybe mix it. Well, maybe you guys can play another song.
Sure. What am I gonna do?
We could do
Yes.
yeah.
I'm down for that.
do that.
Let's do that. Mhm. See, don't even have to talk. He's just like, chord. I'm like, yes. Okay.
So, all right. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. Whenever I'm alone with you, I will always love you. Oh, the words I say, I will always love you. Oh. Yeah.
Woo! Hey.
All right. Andrew,
Beautiful.
you're the good luck charm, man.
You guys don't need luck. Got skills. I like when Taimane goes beast mode.
Just
Looks fun. Cathartic.
I enjoy it too. Just a little bit.
Can't get too carried away.
No, I feel it now. I'm definitely feeling it now the next day. So I gotta like work out, take care of my body. 30s, man.
Yeah, I bet.
But then you like get caught in the moment and you're like, ugh!
What do you mean you can't just plate lunch it all day?
I wish.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a good idea not to do that.
Yeah. Plus space is good every now and then. Space is good.
Right. Otherwise, yeah, wouldn't have the same effect.
What's your morning routine, Andrew?
I like to like not check my emails or anything like that for a little while.
Do you successfully pull that off on most days?
I mean, at least like a half an hour where you get up and start
Like don't
cup
like
of
look right at
coffee
your
and
phone. Kind of
have a couple eggs and then look at some fun stuff on YouTube. I'm a little bit of a YouTube addict. I just like, go down rabbit holes and
I mean, that's what you do for work, so it's not,
Yeah.
it's not.
That's why your podcasts are so good.
You're excused to do that.
It's work.
yeah. No, I mean my work these days is downstairs with the setup team, just working on these instruments to make sure they play better.
Nice,
and
man.
taking some pictures, and this is the fun part, and editing. I'm going to be at NAMM from tomorrow for a while, so this probably won't come out for a little while. But
Isn't it usually January?
Yeah, they changed it this year.
Huh. Are you going to LA? Because I know there's like
Yeah.
two different ones.
Yeah, it's the LA one. I think they were thinking it like it's not like flu season kind of a thing. Where
Okay.
but I think next year is going to go back to January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to NAMM, Tavana?
No, never
I
have.
feel. Oh my gosh.
everybody that I know that's gone, it's been like awesome, but it's also been like super draining. It sounds like really grueling.
Yeah. I mean, I've been like 15 times, and the last few times I kind of like, I have to talk myself into going to the show the last couple of days, especially. Try to go with an agenda to see certain people and stuff like that. But I mean, it's fun. It's just like, you know, something about the noise, like the everybody playing everything in the air, it like drains me. Yeah.
Makes you crazy.
A little bit, but you know, I mean, I can embrace the chaos for the most part, but so you're playing Pono acoustics now for years.
Yep.
Playing my call out tonight, but that's just so you didn't have to drive up with a guitar.
Well, also I just like always play that guitar, so it's like an opportunity for me to play something else.
Totally.
And I mean, what better place to pick up something new than here? So, but yeah, this thing feels really good. It's really good on like fingerstyle stuff too, the way it's set up. Lighter playing.
It's a small body, so
details.
it's probably like, I bet you would prefer like a little bit bigger body.
I mean,
sound, but
for like my whole set or whatever, but doing some of the stuff we're doing here tonight, this is perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
Ponos are good, though. I like ponos.
Yeah. I actually wanted to like show you some of the baritones tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes you pick up baritone.
I do.
Yeah.
Something different.
I really love the new baritones that we've been doing with the lattice bracing. So it's like a different than the fan bracing. Your eyes, you're like, what?
Cool.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We could try messing around. We don't have to keep it. We'll see what happens. But I'd like to try to play in the video.
G. What'd you say?
G.
Sorry about that, guys. I cut off.
And then G. And then D.
Okay.
What is this song?
This is that Blaze Foley thing I was telling you about.
Tell people the story of Blaze Foley.
Well, I'm not the expert on Blaze Foley, but he was this musician that was writing songs, playing, you know, little bars or whatever in Austin, and, you know, all around. He traveled to like Nashville a lot and all these different places, but he wasn't really well known. You know, he ended up at one point finally getting his song picked up by Merle Haggard, and it was one of these songs. What was it called? It was called "If I Could Only Fly." And Merle Haggard started playing it. He was like, "Oh, cool! Like, you know, this bigger artist is playing my song." But then he had this friend who was an older guy that lived in kind of a not great part of town that he loved to go and visit with, and found out that the guy's son was like a junkie, like a heroin addict, who was coming to the dad's house and like stealing his social security checks and all this stuff. So Blaze at one point went over there when this happened and kind of like stood his ground and got the guy to beat it. And I think he kind of probably just not like gave him a couple of whoopings and then like sent the kid on his way. Anyway, the kid, dude's son, came back with a shotgun, shot him in the chest. Blaze bled out and died, you know. But after that happened, it was like the whole country community had like heard about it and started like, you know, covering his songs. Like John Prine started doing his music. Like all these guys started getting really into it. And he's just one of these guys that was never really famous when he was alive, and then now it like stuff's all over movies, and just like he's got kind of a whole subculture surrounding him, you know. But did
he have kids? I wonder if there's somebody there to like.
Not that he knew about, I think.
Oh, wow.
Situations. He was like, I think he was only like late 30s, maybe 40 when he died. It's pretty young.
Yeah.
I think he was like a misfit, you know.
So if you're a songwriter out there,
arrested, you know.
It's just keep laying it down if you're doing it, because you never know. Maybe.
Well, hopefully you don't have that story.
Well, hey, I mean, you don't want to get murdered, but.
But there's like all these movies and stuff about him. Like Ethan Hawke did a thing about him, and afterwards, and yeah. But anyway, I recently discovered his stuff and just like really like his songwriting, and his voice is like awesome. You know, it's like this really loud, like, you know, not a singer, but like a good storytelling voice. You know,
Beautiful.
so I'd like to try it.
Yeah.
See what happens. I'm going down to the Greyhound station, gonna get a ticket to ride. I'm gonna find a lady with 2 or 3 kids and sit down by her side. Right till the sun comes up and down around me about 2 or 3 times. Smoking cigarettes in the last seat. Try to hide myself from the people I meet and get along with it all. Go down where people say y'all. Sing a song with a friend. Change the shape that I'm in. Get back in the game. Start playing again. I'd like to stay, but I might have to go and start over again. Might go back down to Texas. Might go to somewhere that I've never been. And get up in the morning, go out at night, and I don't have to go home. Get used to being alone. Change the words to this song and start singing again. I'm tired of running around answering questions that I already know. I could build me a castle of memories to have somewhere to go. Count the days and the nights that it takes to get back in the saddle again. Feed the pigeons some clay, turn the night into day, and start talking again when I know what to say. I'm tired of running around looking for answers to questions that I already know. I could build me a castle of memories to have somewhere to go. Count the days and the nights that it takes to get back in the saddle again. Feed the pigeons some clay, turn the night into day, and start talking again when I know what to say. I'm going down to the Greyhound station, gonna get a ticket to ride. I'm gonna find a lady with 2 or 3 kids and sit down by her side. Get up in the morning, go out at night, and I don't have to go home. Feed the pigeons some clay, turn the night into day, start talking again when I know what to say. Oh.
I had to do the major 7. Sorry.
That's awesome. I did that verse twice because I messed up the beginning of it the first time. I was like, I have to do that verse correctly.
It's beautiful. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'm tired of regular motherfucker, and then I already know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous song.
Thanks. We don't need to keep that. I just wanted to play it tonight on this guitar. So.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We're keeping it.
Okay.
I want to hear what your guys' morning routine is.
Okay, for me, 7:30 I wake up. I actually listen to TikToks that are like, get up. You know, there's so many things you gotta do.
Motivational?
Yeah, I really do. I listen to like motivational. Like, I'm like, okay, I gotta get up. And then like, you know, wash my hair and blah, blah, blah. And then I matcha. I go to my little matcha place, get my little caffeine in there. And then lately I've been going to Foodland. I've been getting lunch, which is like a little sushi. And then I go home. And then I either do like emails, meetings, do all of that. And then I have my little lunch.
Is that a place? Matcha?
It's called the Daily Whisk in Kaimuki, but matcha is a form
Oh,
of
yeah. I know what matcha
it's
is.
like a green tea. But
I didn't know whether there was a place I didn't know about called matcha.
no, it's called the Daily Whisk. Or I'll do like a workout. I'll do like a morning workout. Like, ugh. So I have like all of my energy in the morning, but I haven't been gigging as much, so I think that's why.
Yeah, because a late night will kind of wreck that a little bit, right?
Totally.
What about you, Tavana?
Yeah, there's the what I'm supposed to do in the morning, and there's what
right.
Usually it's like I wake up, I wake up my son Maverick. You know, he's getting ready for school. I go make him lunch and make him breakfast, and then make some coffee, feed him. You know, get him out the door, take him to school, and then the plan is to go to the gym or exercise or something. Doesn't happen that often. I'm getting there. I'm doing it more.
What's your gym?
And then after that, I just go to 24 Hour in
Okay,
Hawaii
cool.
because it's like right across the street from Maverick School.
Nice.
And then I usually after that I go home and just pick up guitars or whatever and start continuing writing whatever I left off on. And then
Living the dream.
invoicing people. QuickBooks.
So true. Invoices, man. They don't take a lot of time, but there's a lot of them. That and like scheduling things. Okay, I have to go to the dentist. I gotta call them.
I honestly don't know how I did things before this iPhone situation.
Yeah?
Where it like tells me, everything I need to do. Beep. Oh, you're supposed to be at the doctor's right now. I don't know. No, it's probably why I was terrible at that stuff.
I just don't go to the doctor. So it's like stopped doing that a long time. No,
Yeah.
You don't like the doctor's office?
No, not really.
Yeah. It's better not to know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Nah,
Just wait.
I mean, you just get to be a point where like you're supposed to like start getting screened for all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, yeah. I've been screened, man. Went to all the ones.
Yeah.
We don't need to go there. This is a
Yeah,
family
right.
podcast.
I have a son with a broken. My special needs son Zephyr. He broke his foot a couple days ago, and it's like we're trying to get an appointment for him to get a cast, and it's like the soonest is Tuesday, and he won't stop jumping on it. And I'm
Oh,
just
wow.
like,
I would think
can you
that
guys
would be
not
one of
get
the-
like something? But no, I don't know.
I would feel like a cast or something that they have to deal with immediately, no?
Yeah, you would think so. It's like this last visit was just them getting the x-rays and then saying that it's broken in 3 places and then
See you later.
yeah, right. I think most people naturally stay off it,
That's
but he's just
crazy.
like such a crazy man, and like jumping is something
I
that
mean,
he
that's-
lives for.
Yeah, there's lots of people who would need that pretty immediately, How else are you going to traverse the world with a broken leg without messing it up?
Yeah, my wife was kind of raging at some people, but then that doesn't really get you anywhere in the medical field. It's like, sorry, ma'am. Anyways, kind of a diversion.
The medical system, man.
Yeah. I don't even know where it went wrong, but there's a lot of holes.
You're still doing it. You're gonna continue with this?
No.
We can go down this vein. We can talk about this for days.
So I guess like I might be recording an album with you coming up, right?
Dude, I'm totally.
That's what we were talking about
That's what we were
before we
talking
started.
about.
Yeah.
I think that this would be a great space to do something like that, with like what we're talking about doing.
Yeah, it's like Tavana's asking me, about a mic he should buy to start doing this project. I'm like, just come up here and record it. So
I love how it's just like, I'm just asking advice for like a mic for my house. And then it's like, we're going to make an album together.
Yeah.
It's just like...
took about a minute to get there.
Well, the great thing about this place too is like it feels like a mini vacation whenever I come out here.
Oh,
It's like I can tell everybody that like I normally have to hang out with. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go to Wahiwa. See you in like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Nah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also looking for, I don't know, to get my feet wet with some level of semi-professional recording. Got good mics.
I
The
feel like
room
you're
sounds good.
doing that every day out here with the ukulele site stuff.
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could do more. Just time,
So what's going to be on this new album that people can
Taimane.
see?
For sure, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, now you're
Walked
railroaded
into
into
that. Okay. Sure. All right, you
That's
guys.
funny. I don't know. I mean,
You guys should have some recordings together.
totally.
Yeah. Well, when you guys were talking about that off camera about like, oh, like you should do an album and then also have video on top of it, I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for that to happen right now.
Yeah,
That's kind of what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
it is.
I think that the stuff that you record here is absolutely album quality stuff. I mean, I don't see why not. And then you have all this great video along with it. So.
The capture we got down, and we can send it to, mix master is not my specialty, but there's people that can take these waves and run with it.
For sure.
And you were mentioning Johnny Helm too.
Yeah, Johnny's. I like working with him. Johnny's so hilarious.
He's the best.
I feel like I'm, I don't know, back in 14 years old. Some of my best buddies just like being ridiculous and stupid, but having like a great time. But also, it's a professional relationship, so it's like all the good things in life all rolled up into one. Similar to when I hang out with you, dude. I mean, it's the same thing. There's all these great people on this island. I feel like that are really talented at what they do, and I just love that I get to hang out with them.
Yeah, well, there's like some people are really talented, but not all that fun.
Oh, then there's that.
But like, yeah, Johnny's
There
like
is
the
that.
best.
There are
Yeah,
some
he's
people
fun.
that are like that.
Johnny Helm's a musician for people listening.
Johnny!
We also have like a fun little audience member here who's also very talented and a cool person to hang out with. We've got Mr. Mike Love cruising.
I know.
See?
People are gonna be irritated he's not making music if he's in the room. But yeah.
So we got musicians in the room.
Speaking of the best,
It's like, it's what I'm saying. It's like, I just find it insane that that's kind of what we get to do for work, right? Like all of us, we get to kind of just hang out with all these people that are, in some cases, like people that, like for me, I've been listening to forever, like John Cruz or something, right? Like now it's just like me and him are just boys, and it's like, but there was a time in my life where that would have just blown my mind. You know what I mean? To think like, oh, by the way, when you're however old, you're going to just be on a first name basis and
I feel the same way about John
or whatever, and be on the same stage and jamming on the same stage with this person or that person. And it's like, it's crazy. I mean,
he's such a down to earth, really cool guy.
It's just a...
I remember doing like a music video with John Cruz. I think it was for Mana Maoli. And we were somewhere near the water, and I remember we were shooting the film, and he was like more interested in the fish in the water.
I was there for that. I remember that. Yeah.
He's like, he wanted to go catch the fish, and then we were filming a music video.
That guy loves to fish, dude. He'll go out like on a kayak, in Maui too, which I would never do. It's so sharky. But he'll just be like on a kayak, dude, for hours. It's like a pole just like trolling out there. Yeah, he's awesome, dude. But there's so many awesome dudes. There's so many, you know, there's Mikey's too. He's all freaking awesome, you know. It's like, if you're ever, you know what I mean? So to keep you creative and keep you inspired, there's no lack of that. You know, even on this small island, you know, or island chain, it's like there's a lot. You know, there's a lot of meat to the and potatoes.
Yeah.
When was it that you guys were pretty sure that you were going to just be able to be professional musicians? Like
I
early?
still don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What are you talking about, dude?
No, but I mean, this is what you do for work. It's kind of, you know, I mean, it is that dream.
I mean, I always well, you know, even when I was nobody and I wasn't even just in school or whatever, I'd already committed, you know what I mean? Like, I already knew. I was like, I'm going to do this, poor, rich, whatever, I'm going to be doing this. This is what I want to do. I had definitely committed like a long time ago, you know, and lived poor and in the woods and, you know, went through all kinds of phases of my life. Really not great. But I knew all along I was never going to like, oh, I'm going to go get some sort of vocation, you know, and go work as like a AC repairman or something someday. That was never a plan for me. It was always like all feet and hands and toes and fingers were in, you know, from the beginning, basically.
If I gotta be a starving artist.
Yeah, I was down. Luckily, right around the time that Maverick was born, it was kind of possible, you know, like started to become possible where it was like legitimate enough.
If he came a little earlier, you'd be repairing AC units.
It could have went that way, maybe, you know. I don't know.
No.
Well, then again, though, I'm pretty sure that he was the catalyst that made things the way it is, you know. I think that possibility was always there. I just think I was goofing off a little too much until Maverick came along, and I was like, oh, well, I have everything I need to put this in order, and I did, because I had to.
That's why I started this business. When I had my son, I knew I had to do something.
That's what happens, man.
Yeah. Sometimes kids can be the difference, kick you into gear.
Yeah, man. Especially when they're babies. They're just like, oh my gosh, I have to protect this little being.
Taimane, you hit pretty young though, so you were pretty set that this was going to be your path, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I had my dad who was very much, you know, supporting me through my younger childhood with music, and also instilling that work ethic for me. But I think that type of feeling kind of came when I started playing with Don Ho, singer in Hawaii, and he started paying me. So I think that's kind of like, I was 13 and that kind of like became more of like a real thing, like, okay, this could be a job for me if I wanted to. So that's kind of where that started for me. And I know you guys are talking about kids as well, and I've heard a lot of artists actually say like they had a kid and then that actually gave them more of the drive to be more motivated to create art, which is beautiful. Yeah, create art, but business, but create art for them. It was more of their like driving fire.
Yeah, it can be inspiring, but it's also, it gives you drive because you know there's people depending on you too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, another part of that too for me was that like I remember sitting down to write a lot of times, you know, before Maverick or whatever, and I would just like, nothing's coming out or whatever, and I'd be kind of not getting anywhere. You know, and then when he came along, even that process became, because when you have a kid, you just don't have that much time anymore. You know, you if you sit down to write, that's the time that you have. So all of a sudden, it's like, no, this idea is just fine, and I'm gonna keep it. And then next idea, and that alone allowed me to just like write more efficiently, believe in the stuff I'm writing more. You know, because I just don't have endless amounts of time to sit down and write anymore. You know what I mean? So I sit down, I got like 30 minutes before I got to go to the store, you know, school or whatever, and I use that time. And what comes out, I respect it, you know, and I like move on.
Talk about some of the techniques that you use. Talk about, before we started, you were saying how you would just put a word or phrase in notes. Like stuff like
that's
that.
not like a technique. That's just
No, but
something
it's
I
like
started
something.
doing.
I mean, it seems
It's
like
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so like what you're talking about
Snow
is
globe. I am a cage.
I just started I keep a list of like descriptive words that I hear if I'm watching like Netflix or whatever, and I like something like you said, snow globe, or hard sand, or cold marble, whatever it is, and I keep a list of those kinds of words so that when I'm writing, if I come to a spot where I'm either dead in the water, or I just refer to the list and be like, oh, and I'll write something surrounding that, to tie that into a concept or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there could be a chance
And this is like
something
a fairly
in
new thing. I've been doing this for years, so it could be a terrible idea. I don't know.
Later on, they're going to be like asking you how you wrote it. Well, I just went through these random phrases.
It's what do you go? Mad Libs. That's how I write my songs.
I read somewhere Lana Del Rey, the artist, she likes to use words that feel good on the tongue.
Ooh.
So like ultra-violence, she just liked the way that it sounded in her mouth. And so she would, I guess, write with that in mind. So it kind of reminds me of what you're saying about like just writing words in your book that kind of make you feel a certain way, or you like the way it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with that too. If I get a couple of verses in and I get to a spot where something just doesn't feel right when I'm singing it, I'll oftentimes realize it's because of the the way that words combine together one after the other, and the way that your mouth pronounces them. Sometimes it really is easy to say, or sometimes it's like, and it just kind of like fights the song. So I've started to realize that as well, and be like, oh, how else can I say this that might be a little more eloquently flow off the tongue? This word to that word sounds better. You start to find all these little things when you write songs.
It's all sounds.
Yeah.
I mean,
that matter. I mean, these kind of things matter.
For me, like R's, I don't like R's, which there's a lot of R's in the English language, but R's I like oohs, ahs.
I noticed too a lot of some of my old music. I'll listen back to it, and like there's all this times when a word should end with an S, but it doesn't, or it should end a certain way, and I don't end up saying it. You know what I mean? And I'll go back and like, oh, I'm totally forgetting to say the end of that word right there, but it's just like because of the word that comes after it, it pulls me out of the word too fast or whatever, to where I don't land on the S and then move up, It's like stuff like that. You start to like figure out that.
Well, people listen and love it even if they don't speak the language.
Right, because it sounds nice.
It's this, I mean,
Yeah.
the audio experience.
And the older I get, it's like the lower the melodies
Register.
I'm
Yeah, trying to write
I'm just not
stuff
even
that's going to be
try
easier.
to go up anymore. I'm just,
I remember John Mayer talking about that too. He's like, all right, I need to write in a register that's going to like be sustainable.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it nice to be able to know you're not going to have to like, oh, what about when this song comes? Oh, can I pull it off tonight?
Oh gosh.
Can I do this song tonight?
Yeah, trying to put some lozenges in there to warm up your throat.
For real, man.
So, people have asked us, and we do have all of Taimane's signature ukes on order. And yeah, they should be coming soon.
I came out with a signature moon ukulele, you guys. You can check it out.
Yeah, the Enya. There's a 4-string and a 5-string.
Mm-hmm.
Thing's beautiful
with
looking.
pickup and without pickup.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a blue and a black.
And you get them from us, and you get that custom setup so they play like butter.
Yeah. I really enjoy playing them. I should have brought one, but I just enjoy One, it's thin, so I can take it to the airport. I can take it to a trip. I don't have to worry about it. But the pickup also gives those effects that I love to play with.
Oh yeah, what are you plugged in here?
I have a Dispatch Maker Earthquaker device, which both has reverb and delay. And I love the Earthquaker device just because their sounds are so... They're not tacky. You know what I mean? They're just beautiful.
Such a small footprint too.
And I love how it's just one pedal, you know, so when you're traveling you don't have to have like this whole pedal train going on. It's just one thing. So I absolutely love this. I have this, and then I have a Boss harmonizer for my vocals regarding reverb, and then just having a harmonizer if it's just me. So those are the two main things that I like to travel with. I try to keep it simple, and I try to keep it light.
That's pretty easy. You should see what Mike travels with.
Yeah.
Stories of pedals.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple levels, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's like when I saw you walking in, I thought you were carrying like a little mic case or something. I'm like, what's that? But,
Yeah. It's
pretty
actually
compact.
big. This one's kind of on the bigger side. But this little thing is what I bring to every gig that if I want like my harmonizer. I even have one that's half this size just for that thing. But if I want to do reverb, like a harmonizer and that effects pedal, like when I go on tour, it's just this. I love it. I don't even think it's for effects pedals. I don't even know what it's for, but it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're in the studio, would you just do the harmonies, or do you like the sound of that harmonizer?
I do the real harmonies. Yeah. Yeah, me or my girl, my guitarist, Rachel Look, who's my guitarist.
She's great.
She's great. And she does vocals, or I do it myself. And I love to work with Pierre Grill at Rendezvous Recording, and he's such an audiophile too. You know, he tells me what he wants and produces as well, and so we create a nice little sound. Yeah.
Yeah, your last album is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh yeah, we're doing a really big show at Hawaii Theater for it. It's basically my album release party, even though it came out last September 2022. But it's at Hawaii Theater. I'm gonna have like dancers. I'm gonna have a halau. I'm gonna have an aerialist. I'm gonna have like a poet. And I just really want to create that experience for people to really just be enveloped in the Hawaii story and like hear the story behind it. Because all you hear is the music, but there's actually a story that like weaves the songs together. So that's happening August 25th, and I'm really excited.
Hawaii Theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
it's gonna be a big one, and I'm hoping to like live
Like
stream it.
multi-level arts going on,
Yeah.
telling a story. That's
Yeah.
pretty intense.
Yeah.
That's like next level too for you, like creating this experience that goes even beyond just performing music, huh?
Yeah, you know, I really enjoy like, you know, Vegas shows or a show that has like all different elements in it, so you're really immersed into the experience, you know? It's number one, it's the music. That's what people connect to, but how can you create a visual experience with dancers and like a story so people can really feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can people buy tickets to that now?
Today's what? April 25th. April 25th.
That's when it goes on
is
sale.
when it goes on sale. Hoping to do
Pretty
a live
soon.
stream too, so people can watch it like
Beautiful.
everywhere. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot to put together.
It is. It is. I'm like dealing with props. Like you think we just play music, but we also like I'm trying to find like a confetti cradle, you know, I'm trying to
Outfits, the whole, yeah.
yeah, like scheduling. I think that's the other thing is like scheduling with musicians, trying to like
It's like entertainment business to the max.
but I enjoy it.
Yeah, and you're giving other artists a avenue to express themselves.
Definitely, and I'm showing the audience like other elements of art too. So they come for the ukulele and what I do, but like, look, this halau can do this. Oh my gosh, aerial, like an aerialist with ukulele. You would never think that goes together, or like cello with ukulele, you know. So I like to like really incorporate a bunch of different artists that people can vibe with.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do we have time for one more?
Let's
should
do
we
it.
do?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Want to do wiki? game?
Oh, sure. Okay.
All right.
Woo!
Right on.
That was invigorating.
What a treat.
I enjoyed
Brother
that.
Andrew.
Thank you
man.
guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, man.
I know the community
I love this guitar.
appreciates it. I know, right? Kind of everybody that plays that guitar is like, oh. Corey said he's going to record the album that we do with him and Clay with that guitar. It's just comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Small footprint.
Taimane, once again, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Always such a pleasure. And any, I know you got your shows coming. Do you guys have any kind of like weekly stuff people catch you at, or is it always changing? I guess check your websites.
Yeah, check the link in my bio.
Yeah, I'll put some links in the description below. And thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We love
Thank
you.
you.
I love you.
Love you guys.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Aloha.
Shoots.